All right, great. So we actually have a few people on. I'm actually have to kick off this webinar just because I have trainings that I'm actually doing at the moment. So I really don't want to take up a lot of your times and a lot of my students that I'm training today. So basically, what I really want to show you guys, I really want to show you there's different ways you can really find products. There's actually multiple methods that you can use to find products. There's one way that I do use. I actually go through the Shopify method. Basically, you guys probably heard of this plenty of times, but don't know how to access it. And one way that I do this is I usually search up conversions apps. There's tons of conversion apps through Shopify, and I actually search up conversion apps, and I go through the reviews, and I can actually show you that. I can actually show you exactly what I'm talking about, so that you can see how I do this. One second. One second. All right. So let me make sure you guys can see me. All right, awesome. So one thing that I do is I usually, like I said, I usually search up conversions. There's other methods like going through watch count. You can search up. You can go on. You can do the old way by looking for AliExpress like hot selling products. I really don't think some of those products are really hot selling as they say they are. But some people get good results from that. Some people don't. So let me show you exactly what this conversion method that I'm telling you guys about. And one thing that I really want you guys to know is you really don't have to flood your store with tons and tons of products. You can really start with, you can add tons of products, but you can really, well, I changed that. You can add up to 5 to 6 products to your store, but you really want to target one or two of the hot selling products that you have on your store. Just because you really want to start bringing in sales and start bringing in the right audience for your store, you don't really want to target 10 different audience. And with those 10 different audience, you don't know who you're targeting. So I usually tell a lot of my students, and I actually do this myself, if I build a store, like I actually just built one last week, and I've been running ads. And one thing that I do is that I put 4 to 5 different type of products on my store. Something close to my niche. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. If I'm selling auto parts, if I'm selling brake pads, like say I want to start an auto parts store, and I'm selling brake pads for a Honda or a BMW. What I want to do is I want to create different car models, and I want to put like 1 or 2 products of each car into those lists. So I'll give you guys another example. For say if I'm selling phone accessories or whatever, and I'm selling my niche is Android, so I'm targeting Galaxies, I'm targeting Nokia, I'm just targeting just strictly Android users. So what you want to do is you really want to put 4 or 5 hot selling products from Androids that an accessory that your client, your consumers will be able to buy. So that's just something I do. I really don't like flooding it just because I don't want to be targeting tons and tons of people that are not interacting with my store. I don't want to spend a lot of money on conversion ads and none of these people are buying. I'm getting clicks. They're going to my store, but they're not buying just because I'm targeting 10, 20 different products, and I don't know what to narrow down. I don't know what to put my focus on. So, like I said, find a product. I can go here. As you can tell, I typed in conversions. So I can scroll down, and let's say there's abandoned cart. And as you can tell, there's multiple sellers. These are lists. Like there's multiple sellers on here. There's hundreds and hundreds of sellers selling products. So what I can do is, I don't want to use this store. This store is not really too good. But what I really want to do is I really want to get an idea of a product or a niche that I can put my focus on. So let's take a look at this. All right, so this is a baby store. Okay, so as you can tell, They have multiple baby products. They have frog potty training for boys. I mean, this is a good store right here, honestly. They got baby toys. They have the backpack for baby care, and this whole store right here is just narrowed down. It's not a general store. This is a niche store, and their target market are just babies. They're targeting females that are new baby owners, or it's easy to target this market. But back to what I was saying. Um, you can just find certain products on here that people buy on a daily basis. I mean, there's a lot of products on here that they'll buy on a daily basis, and just that's an idea of just building a store. I mean, you can steal products from other Shopify owners. I mean, it's just based off how you market your store, how you target your audience. If you're targeting the right audience, you'll be making a killing a day. If you're targeting the wrong audience, you'll be spending money on ads and not getting any type of results, and it'll make you frustrated. So, um, let me go back. So another thing that you really want to focus on is there's different steps. There's different steps that you want to take before running a Facebook ad. I really put my focus on building my store first, just because you really want to build trust once your client or once your customer comes to your store. You want them to trust your page. You don't want anybody just clicking, coming to your page, and they don't trust it. Because what are they going to do if they don't trust it? They're going to leave. So what you really want to do is you really want to put there's multiple apps that I use, and I actually found a couple new ones today. I'm gonna post it in the group, and for the people that are not in the group, I'm actually gonna post a link for you to join the group. But there's multiple apps that you can use to take your Shopify store to like a beast level. Actually, there's some like the McAfee app. As you can tell at this baby store right here, it's crazy. I didn't even look at it. It's right here in the corner. When your customers see these right here, this little thing, they trust your store automatically. Once they see this little thing right here, I mean, on all my stores, I install. That's like a number one thing that I install. And the reason why is because they want to make sure that their information and their credit card info are secure. Like this site is secure. They don't want to be worrying about them being hacked or if the store is a fraud or and so and so. So that's another app. I mean, it's a list. This list of apps that I actually, like I said, I'm actually gonna post in the group chat so that you guys can get that. Like I said, number one, you really want to make sure your store is fully built, and number two, you really want to install, a few apps. There's a couple apps I can give you guys. Like there's countdown timers, abandoned cart, checkout conversion apps. There's multiple, that can really, especially for the ones that are getting like a lot of add to carts, but few checkouts. There's certain apps that you can, and there's certain tweakups you can do with Facebook ads to resolve that issue. But that's something we'll talk about in another training because that gets real deep, real deep. And another thing that I do see people do without without even running like just without even running Facebook ads, the first thing I see people do is they just run conversion ads. Like, off the top. You really don't want to do that. And I'll tell you guys why, because I mean when I got taught this, I actually tried it and I seen the difference of why not to run a conversion ad first. Even though that's the money ad, you really don't want to run a conversion ad. The reason why is you really want to get some type of shares, engagements off your post, off your, I mean, what I do is I run posts on my hot selling product. So if there's a hot product in my store, I don't do this to all my store. I just target that one ad that can bring in more customers for other product that I'm selling on my store. So one thing that I do is I do run a PPE ad. It's called a pay per engagement, and what that really does is that I mean you might get few like 1-2 sales here and there, but it's really not for sales. You know, a pay per engagement ad is not for sales. It's for shares, comments, and likes. And that's basically just people interacting with your product. And it's a test for the Shopify owner, because what you really want to see is this product a good product? Is this product are people interacting with this product? Is this audience that I target for my product, is it the right audience? So those are just different tests that you see when you run a PPE ad. And I really suggest everyone to really start with running a pay per engagement ad. I mean, at least for 2 to 3 days maximum. And the next thing that I do after I run my PPE ad is I gather all the data, and I see that this ad right here is getting more engagement than this ad. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate that ad into a conversion. And really, before you get to even running a conversion ads, there's a couple of things you really want to see. You really want to know if that ad is worth even investing any more money in, because you might run an ad for a certain product, and that ad is not it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And if you start running engagement a conversion ad, what will happen is that you will spend so much money for nothing, because it can be a few reasons why you're not even getting sales. Just because that audience that you ran on your pay per engagement ad is nothing similar to your product that you're selling. And that's a lot of reasons why people, and I'm gonna be honest, that's the number one reason why I didn't get sales when I even first started doing Shopify. Just because I was targeting a whole totally different audience. I wasn't using the audience insight tool, so I didn't know who to target. I was just targeting so and so, and I had like 30 interests on my page, but just targeting the wrong people. So that's one thing you guys really want to do. I have steps. I really start from making sure my store is fully built, to creating my Facebook page, to running a pay per engagement ad. My budget, I always start at $3. It's just because if you run a pay per engagement ad, $3 times 7, you're under the $50 budget. So, and you get great results to look at your pixels and run a conversion ad. So you really have no problem there. So that's actually one thing I do. The next thing is, I do this every night. A lot of people don't know this, but every night from 12 o'clock to 4, I'm always up and I'm analyzing data and I'm scaling up. Some ads I'll scale down, some ads I'll scale up. The reason, and you might be asking why 12 to 4. It's the best time. Actually, I learned this. It's the best time to scale up at 12 to 4, just because the prices of Facebook could be cheaper. So I might scale up right now, and this is the wrong time for me to scale up, and Facebook would double my cost per purchase. And that can hurt my pockets, because I could have just did it during 12 to 4. Well, it's really 12 to 6, but for some reason I tried 4, and after 4, and I seen a kind of an impact. But I keep it between 12 to 4. I really just do it around 12. It doesn't take a long time. It takes probably an hour just to scale up and analyze data. And what I mean by analyzing data is, when you run an ad, let me see if I can show you guys an example. When you run an ad, one second. When you guys run an ad, there's a couple of things that you want to do. I'm not saying just looking at your Facebook, your Facebook ad managers, and just adding more money to scale up. No, that's not what scaling up means. When you analyze your data and you're scaling up, what you really want to do is export your Facebook data. And you can use different programs. You can use Excel. You can use Google. You can use Microsoft. They have different export programs for documents. But I actually use Microsoft Excel. I have it on all my computers, so it's much more easier and smoother for me. But when you're give me 1 second. When you're exporting data, as you can tell, on these ads, I've actually turned it off. But as you can tell, hold on, let me close this. At the right-hand side right here, some of these ads, I'll click it, whichever one I really want to scale up and do certain numbers. I'll click it. I'll click export to a CSV file, export it to Excel, and then I will save that data. Like for say that I want to scale up tomorrow. So what I'll do is I will look at the data from yesterday, compare it today, and look at which ad I should scale up, turn off, do some adjusting to, just whatever I have to do to that ad to get it to where it's supposed to be. That's what I'll do. And the only how you can really do that is by scaling up. Is by exporting your data to Excel. And this is the most logical, the most and the best way to do this. I mean, I don't know no other way to, especially with you having Facebook pixel. I feel like it's the best way to kill it in that method. So I'm gonna open up the question box because I want to see if any of you guys have a question or if this anybody stuck at a certain part um, before I close out this webinar. But we are gonna have another webinar next Friday. For the people that do need help installing Facebook pixels and running a pay per engagement ad. So if you have a question, you can actually just type it in the box, and I can be able to read it and answer that for you. Okay, don't you have to get a lot of sales to even make a great profit? I mean that question. What do you mean by that? I mean, not really. Depending on it's really based. I kind of think I see where you're coming from, but it's really based on what type of product you're selling and how much you're buying the product for and how much you're reselling it for. I mean, I can give you an example. There's some products that I bought for $3, $2.50, $3, and I'm reselling it for $18. And I mean, I started running ads. I'm gonna tell you guys one thing. There's certain tests. You're gonna have to do a lot of tests, especially if you don't know your audience. There's different tests you're gonna have to run, and by the time you do get your test, it'll be great because now you know exactly who to target for your product. So I mean, I'm a testing type of person. I test a lot of things. I mean, I'll test all day and look at the results the next day and be able to scale up. And that's why I start with $3 per ad. I never run an ad for $50. I hear a lot of people do it. They start an ad they don't know and for 25, 50, 100, and that's cool. But for me to really get my ROI back, I always start at $3 per ad. Even conversion ads, I start at $3, and it's really based off how much you're buying your product. If you're doing drop shipping with AliExpress, that's great, but I really don't like them. But I'll tell you this: you're going to have to put the price at where you can profit. That's the thing about business. You don't want to buy a product for $3 and sell it for $6. You're not really profiting because you got to think about all the ads you're about to run, shipping costs, stuff like that. Those are stuff you really want to calculate. So it's really based off your product. If you have a great product, ad money wouldn't even be a problem, honestly. So that's the answer to that question. If you have any more questions, you can ask me. Feel free to ask me now. For a lot of profit. Where's the best place to get your products from? To be honest, I'm gonna be real. I use Alibaba. I hear a lot of people that use different suppliers. There's methods of ways you can find a supplier. I mean, you can just go on Google and search up, Chinese suppliers or wholesale suppliers, and you can sell any product. It doesn't have to be from Alibaba or AliExpress. I mean, if drop shipping is a problem for you, there's methods of where you can get your product shipped to a fulfillment center, and they'll be able to drop ship it for you. Some suppliers will drop ship it for you. I mean, I got a couple Alibaba suppliers that do drop shipping for me. I don't use the Overload app and stuff like that. So, it's just you really want to find. I would suggest Alibaba, but I'll really do my own research and see if I can find any more. Any more questions? Ask me anything you have to ask. Well, I think I'm. Okay, what's up with Facebook ads? Lex, what's your question with Facebook ads? Are you spending your own money? I'm confused when I see people spending 30K to get 300K, for example. Does that come from the 300K? Okay, to be honest, I'm gonna be quite, I'm gonna be real honest. It's really this question goes different ways, but it's really based off how much money you have to invest into marketing. At the end of the day, with Shopify and with even starting your own online business, you are going to need money for marketing. That's the number one thing you need money for. One way I would tell you one thing that I did do, and this just being honest, I took a business loan just for my Facebook ads. At one point, I knew that I got the right audience for a certain product that I was selling, and all I needed was just more money. I just needed a boost to continue scaling up, to double up my money, continue double up my money. And what I did was, I took out a loan, ran my ads, and I was able to pay the loan back. And I just kept a profit just for future ad money. I mean, honestly, I run ads 24/7, so all my money's being invested into ads, and it's coming right back. So sometimes you might really need a boost. But if you can't get a loan, or if you can't get if you can't get a loan, or get extra money for Facebook marketing, then what I would suggest is to start small. Start small and build big. You can spend so little money to make a couple thousands a day. And you can invest a part of that money into Facebook marketing. Really, at the end of the day, any money you make has to be reinvested. I mean, that's just what I had to learn that the hard way, and that's what I will always go by. Just for the rest of my life. So, for say if you made $200,000, 150, at least 150 would be invested back in marketing for you to double up. It's just that's how it is. That's how the game is. So, start. What I suggest: start small, build big. If you start small, you build it big, and where your Shopify business is going the right path. If you can get a loan, get that loan and boost up your business. That's it. It's worth it. I mean, everything is a risk. So I could have lost $40,000, but I mean, it's a risk. So it's part of the game. Any more questions? Wow, I didn't know I can unmute you guys. But if you guys have any more questions, I can answer them before I get off. Have a couple of work to knock out today, but I will be hosting another webinar next Friday. The next one. This is the first webinar for the group. So the next webinar, it'll be an in-depth webinar basically on how to install your Facebook pixels, how to read data, how to export the data, and just methods that I use to read and tell which one is working and which one is scalable for me on my store. You know when to hire VAs. Did you do that? Yes, I did. I actually have two VAs for both of my stores. Um, just for customer service wise and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're doing anything drop shipping, or even if you're getting tons and tons of orders for, say, let's say you're getting 2, 3, 4,000 orders a day, and 10% of those orders are probably not going to be shipped on time. So what they're going to do is they're going to look for a way to contact you, or contact the store number, or contact you by email to want to see where their package is. When I first did my first store, I learned the lesson, and it just, I mean, I'm paying a lot. I'm actually paying like $7, $9 for my VAs, but one of my students actually just told me about there's cheap VAs in the Philippine area. So once the business start moving and it starts getting out of hand, I would suggest you to get a virtual assistant as soon as possible. I mean, for just different reasons. You can have a virtual assistant for fulfilling your orders, for exporting orders from your Shopify store to your supplier, and you can actually have another VA for customer service, phone calls, emails, stuff like that. And I mean, if your store is doing 100K a month, and you want to take it to another level, you can get another VA for just marketing purposes. It's just different reasons. Right now, we have two per each store, so I can't do everything myself. So that's something I just have to do. So yeah, like I was saying, anybody else that do need help, you can plug them into the group. I'm just actually trying to put out a lot of daily content where I can help you guys actually build your store without paying hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for trainings. So it's just something that I'm doing out of my time. Thanks. Last question, L. How do you know when to hire VA? Did you do that? Oh, okay. Yeah. But anyways, just actually just want to help you guys build your store. But like I said in the beginning of the training, you really want to. The main thing is to really build your store in a way your customers, the consumers, can trust your site. If you go to Walmart, you can tell their store is built in a way that anybody will buy. If you go to any other store, you just look, just compare and contrast, see what your store is missing, and add the finishing touches. It can just be the littlest things. I mean, there's so much stuff that you can learn, especially with Facebook ads too. We'll get in depth with that. I probably might do a training before Friday for Facebook ads, just because I feel like that's the number one reason you guys' business are not growing or where it should be at the moment. So I'm actually going to, if I can get any more questions, you can ask whatever you please. Hopefully I can answer it. But like I said, I'm gonna try my best to do a lot more webinars for you guys, and go from there. Okay. All right. So since we don't have any more questions, what I'll do, I'm gonna close out the webinar. So hopefully you guys gain some content from me. The webinar is recorded, so I will post a link in the group. You can actually share this and send it to anyone that you think they'll need this for their business. So if you have any more questions, you can ask me in the group, or you can send me. I would suggest to ask me in the group, so whoever needs, is looking for that same answer, they can see it as well too. So I'm gonna actually close this out. See you guys on the other side, and you guys have a great night.